I've loved Spider-Man and Peter Parker ever since I was a little kid. Beyond the fact that he has just some of the coolest powers, in my opinion, there was the fact that I was on the smaller side. I got beat up a lot in middle school. I'm kind of a smart mouth too. And so, I really dig the character, and as much as I wish this video was focusing on him, it's more focusing on his love life, and more specifically, Gwen Stacy, and that.
Sling us a web, you're the Spider-Man. Sling us a web tonight, 'cause we're all in the mood for a hero now.
What's that, you ask? Well, that is the cover of issue 122 of The Amazing Spider-Man, and it is from a story arc called The Green Goblin's Last Stand, and it basically started the end of the Silver Age of comics. For those of you wondering what I mean when I say the Silver Age of comics, essentially, comic book history can be divided into 4 different ages. There's the Golden Age, which went from 1938 to 1950. The Silver Age, which went from 56 to 1970, and I don't know why there's a 5-year gap in between the Gold and Silver Age. I'm gonna try and figure that out. The Bronze Age, which went from 1970 to 1985, and the Modern Age, which goes from 1985 to present day. I'm gonna make a video talking about each of these ages and what defines them from each other at some point, so be on the lookout for that. So basically, her and Peter meet at Empire State University. They end up dating after a rocky start. They have a rocky relationship. Gwen's dad dies in a Spider-Man related incident, so she blames Spider-Man, which makes it kind of awkward for Peter. But she was his girlfriend. She was his Lois Lane at the time. Like, everyone, she was one of the most recognizable figures in comic books that was not, the superhero. Roughly 8 years and 90 issues after her introduction, Gwen Stacy meets her untimely end, and I'm going to talk about this arc, and if it starts to sound familiar to you while I'm describing it, I'll explain why. So, basically, Norman Osborn, as the Green Goblin, takes Gwen Stacy captive because he knows that Peter Parker is Spider-Man and wants to get to him, and takes her to the George Washington Bridge. It's the Brooklyn Bridge. What? The bridge where Goblin lures Spidey. It's the Brooklyn Bridge. Who are you? I'm just your friendly neighborhood retcon man. Well, no, I just read the issue. It says the George Washington Bridge. The bridge in the comics looks like this. The Brooklyn Bridge looks like this. It's the Brooklyn Bridge. What are you wearing? My costume, duh. You're clearly me, just dressed up in ridiculous clothing and wearing weird sunglasses. No, I'm not? Gotta go! Yeah, okay, whatever. A fight ensues. Goblin throws Gwen off of the bridge. Peter webs her and hoists her up, only to find that she is dead. Spider-Man goes after Green Goblin, chases him down to a warehouse, and just can't bring himself to kill him. And Goblin uses this moment of weakness to get his glider to, rise up behind Peter Parker and to try and stab him to death. Spidey sense goes off, Peter flips out of the way, and it impales Norman Osborn. Sound familiar? That's because this is exactly what happened in Spider-Man 1, but with Mary Jane. And she lived. Throughout the years, there have been a lot of debates over whether or not Gwen Stacy was actually Peter Parker's first love, or, just his first girlfriend. And to anyone who argues that she was just his first girlfriend, read Spider-Man Blue by Jeff Loeb and Tim Sale. It is possibly one of the best graphic novels I have ever read. It's it takes place on Valentine's Day, and it's essentially Peter talking into a little recording device to Gwen, talking and reminiscing about how they met, their dating life, just their friends, and her eventual death and how much it impacted him. And then it also shows, at one point, Mary Jane walking in, who Peter is now married to, um, and overhearing all of this. And one of the most beautiful moments to me is, rather than, get mad about Peter feeling sad about this old love's death, she just, kind of whispers to him, "Say hi to Gwen for me." And it's just, it's beautiful. It actually causes me to tear up pretty much every time I read that particular graphic novel. Sorry I took so long to get this video out. It just, things got away from me, but I have a bunch of cool ideas up. I'm going to be talking about the different ages of comic book history, the Captain Marvel debacle, history of the Great Detective, the world's greatest detective, sorry, Great Detective, bleh, and Captain America, that's coming up too, so be on the lookout, and I'll probably throw in a history of Spidey at some point as well. So, yeah, hope you guys enjoy, and I'll see you in the next video.